Hi everyone! This is Susie from Threadquarters. If you're joining me for the first time, thank you so very much. I actually have been away from my vlog for a little while, and that's exactly what I'm going to be talking about in this video. So if you've been curious as to where I disappeared to, then keep watching. So yes, I haven't been putting up videos for a little while, and I've sort of been putting off coming back because I didn't really have a good way to explain why. Nothing major or anything like that, but one of the reasons is my surrounding looks a little bit different, and that is because my 3-year-old boy used to live in this room, and this is our teeny tiny box room, and when I say box, it's box. It's really small, but perfect size for a cot and a chest of drawers and a wardrobe, and that was all that was in this room. But you know, he's 3.5 now, and he was still sleeping in a cot, so he was long overdue getting a proper bed. And we could have fit a single bed in this room, but it would have been a major squeeze. And my sewing room was also our guest bedroom, and in it is an IKEA day bed. So it's normally a single size bed, and it can be turned into a king size bed. And when we bought that, I had always intended that would then turn into his bed. So I just thought, what's the point in buying another single bed and putting it in this room, unnecessarily spending money, when we can just move him in and get him into that room, which was always the plan, was he was going to get that room. So that's what we've done. So it does mean, it means that I lost my sewing room. I lost that sewing room, basically. It wasn't massive to begin with, but I mean, it was quite a luxury, I have to say. So I did all the measurements, and all my stuff has fitted into this little box room, and I'll give you a little tour of it to show you where I'm at the moment. But I have plans to change it up and maximize this storage space as much as possible, because it really is a tight squeeze. But I've got some good ideas as to how to make the most of the small space. So you're gonna have to bear with me with the rubbish background. I really hate all the white behind me. It's definitely not very interesting or flattering. But yeah, I'm hoping over the next couple of months I will be able to get a few things on the walls. I want my husband to make a little desk for a certain area, sort of more custom fitted, and that will utilise the space a lot better. So as you can probably imagine, that definitely has dampened my sojo. It's also dampened my video Joe, as in I just haven't had the drive to record any videos. What was I going to talk about? I haven't done any sewing, so that is where that is. On a side note, my hair looks crazy. I do realise that. I'm trying to do the curly girl method at the moment. I do have naturally wavy, slightly curly hair, but I have straightened it for years and years and years, and I've seen so many amazing transformations of girls that have done the curly girl method. If you haven't heard of it, just stick it into YouTube. You'll find a whole pile of information on it. It's a method of trying to coax your curls back and make your hair healthy again after stripping it of its natural moisture and things like that. I won't go into that. It's nothing to do with sewing, but I'm just explaining why my hair looks horrendous. It looks so bad. So I really apologise for that. It is a journey, apparently, this curly girl method, and right now I'm at the beginning, and well, I've been doing it about a month and my hair still looks horrendous, so I'm really at the point where I want to give up and get my straighteners back out. But all the videos and all the Instagram accounts that I have been following that are doing the curly girl method say stick with it, you're going to want to give up but don't. So I think I'm in that stage where I just really want to give up. So we'll see. If you have any advice, stick it in the comments down below. I know it's nothing to do with sewing, but I would love to know if you have any advice at all. I am all ears about that. So the Black Friday sales were just on last week. I mean, it's not one day anymore, is it? It's a whole week now, and I don't even want to go into that. That is part of something I've been going through recently, which is a whole bigger story. I might touch into that in a second. But if you remember a while ago in my fabric stash video, I can't remember which video it was, the one where I said I wasn't going to buy any more fabric apart from 2 fabrics that were art gallery fabrics, and I was going to hold off until the Black Friday sales and try and pick them up there. Well, I did, so I thought I might as well throw that into this video so that at least there's something to show you and it's maybe a bit more interesting for you. So there were a few of you were asking which art gallery fabric was it that you are after, and it was this. So I've got myself 1.5 meters because even though it was discounted, it's still expensive, and I know that 1.5 meters is enough, but oh, I love it so much. It's just so beautiful. I'm not even gonna try and pronounce the name of this, but it's beautiful. I think it's the word poppies in Greek is maybe the name of this, but I just absolutely love it. The colours are so me. It's me in fabric form is really how I see it. Flowers and stripes and pink and blue and magenta and beautifulness. And also it's art gallery, it's a cotton jersey, and it's beautiful, beautiful quality. So this is just going to be turned into a probably a gable top, Jennifer Lauren gable top, with my personal tweaks that I have done, because I have quite a few of those t-shirts now, and it's pretty much my go-to t-shirt pattern. I love it. And it works really well with a more sturdy cotton jersey rather than a viscose jersey, which is too drapey wear. So this would be absolutely perfect for that, and it means that I will pretty much live in it, I would imagine. So I just need to decide what length sleeves to go for with that. We'll see. So anyway, I did manage to pick it up, so I was very, very excited about that. And what I can say about this is the feeling that I got when I opened up this parcel for this fabric proved to me that it was absolutely the right thing to do to buy this fabric. It wasn't a mistake. I was filled with, if you follow Marie Kondo's Art of Tidying Up movement that went on a few years ago, one of her main issues is the way to decide whether to keep something or not is pick it up, and if it fills you with joy, then you hold on to it. And I can tell you that as soon as I held up this fabric, I was filled with joy. So I just knew it was definitely worth buying. And what I'm trying to say there is there's some fabric that I've bought and I've opened it up and I've thought, oh, this is okay, this is quite nice. Yeah, I can maybe make something with that. No more. I don't want fabric like that in my life anymore. I only want the fabric that fills me with joy. But that's part of a whole bigger story. Anyway, as I said, there were 2, so actually they're both the same pattern, just in a different colourway and in a different fabric substrate. So I also picked up this one. So more autumnal, with the black stripes and the greens and the mustards in there. It's not really my colouring as the way that this one is, but I just love it as well. And again, I opened this up, it was from they were both from 2 different fabric shops. I opened this one up and I was filled with joy as well. This is a rayon and it's really, again, beautiful, beautiful quality, so silky soft and drapey. Again, 1.5 meters of this, and I think this is just going to be turned into like a shift top of some sort, probably the Beatrix, because I'm on a Beatrix kick at the moment. It's just a really nice bodice for me. The sleeves fit in beautifully, the bust dart is exactly the right size and in exactly the right place for me, and I like the width of it around my tummy area as well, so that's why I'm on a kick for the Beatrix. Anyway, so yeah, and again, it's got these beautiful magentas in it, which again is another, it's one of my colours. You can see it there. I am really just, I gravitate towards that magenta colour. So I have a lot of that in my wardrobe, so I know that this will go well with other things that are in my wardrobe, even though it has the likes of this, oh, I don't know what colour you would call that. What colour would you call that? Sage green maybe? And orange. I never wear orange. It doesn't really suit me. And again, the mustard. I love mustard. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful colour, but it just doesn't suit me. So I tend not to have any of that in my wardrobe. But the fun thing is that with all those colours in there, I can maybe just have a little touch of colours that I like, but you know, I just know wouldn't look nice directly against my face. I wonder if that made any sense. So please excuse me, I am getting over a cold, so my voice might sound a little bit funny, and also I'll try and edit out the coughs and sneezes and sniffles, but if I don't get them all, I do apologise. So the last reason why I sort of disappeared a little bit from YouTube and also Instagram, it's a lot of different things happened at the same time, and they all sort of accumulated together and sort of made me think, oh, I need a break. I watched the video on the fashion industry. I can't remember what it's called. I'll put a link down below if it's still there. It's a BBC documentary on the pollution that the fashion industry is. Even though we're not necessarily part of the official fast fashion industry, I really have noticed a trend on Instagram more than YouTube. They're two very different communities in my opinion, but that's a whole other story. But certainly on Instagram there really is, there's nearly like there's almost like a frenzy every time and new fabric line comes out and everyone has to buy it, or a new pattern comes out and everyone has to buy it, and everyone's sewing, and they're making things, and every week there's a new thing, they've made something else, and people are churning out clothes so quickly, and it's great because they're learning a new skill, so that's wonderful. But I just found it a bit, I just all of a sudden just found it a bit too much to take on, and it's just such a big, it's a big picture. It's not one reason for it. The other thing that I was feeling was, you know, when did this turn into a chore? It turned into a chore for me, and I felt, oh, if I want to be really popular on Instagram, why do I want to do that? Or on YouTube, I have to be making. I have to make something new, keep on churning stuff out all the time. I started making things that I don't wear. There's so much on my wardrobe that I have made for a YouTube video, or for made for someone else or something like that, and I just ended up not wearing them. I was more making them not for the purpose of for something I would love to wear, but for the purpose of some other reason. And to be honest, that no longer sits right with me, and I just don't want to do that anymore, and I want to focus on slowing down. I've learnt a lot of valuable sewing skills. I think maybe part of the reason is that when you're first starting out, you know, there's a lot to learn, so you want to keep on sewing, and also you just get really excited about how easy and quick. I mean, I certainly did, especially when I got my overlocker. It was like, whoa, let's churn out all the jersey tops that I possibly can. And I want to buy things cheaply. I want to just get loads of cheap jersey in. I mean, and I've ended up not wearing any of that because it's just cheap and nasty fabric. It looks pretty for a photograph or on the video, but in real life I don't want to wear it. It doesn't feel nice. I get sweaty. It's not nice. So I have certainly learned that buying quality fabrics is more expensive in general initially, but in the long term I'm not going to be just chucking. I'm actually going to get some decent wear out of it. This is a problem. This is why I haven't really sat down to video this, is because I really don't know how to put all of my thoughts into cohesive sentences that make sense. But yeah, so I'm sort of at this junction in my YouTube and Instagram life where I'm not going to turn into a massive eco warrior or start shouting at you for not buying ethical fabric or anything like that, but I'm just sort of saying that I'm going to just take a step back and let's slow down and not make things for the sake of a video, but make things that I feel are going to either be useful in my life, and if I think that that warrants a video that you guys might be interested in, then I'm going to film it, rather than the other way around. Let's all slow down and enjoy the process, which is actually something I've not enjoyed for a long time. I have not been enjoying sewing so much. I definitely would get the hit of endorphins once I've made something and I get to wear it. So I want to make that thing as quickly as possible, and sometimes I will cut corners because I just want to get it made, but then it kind of falls apart if you don't make it properly. So I just want to check myself and I just want to think about, why am I making something? What use is it going to be in my life? rather than, excuse me, rather than, will this make a nice Instagram photo, or how many views on YouTube am I going to get from this? This isn't my job. I can't see a way that it would ever be my job. So, it was starting to stress me out, and I was getting anxious. I was getting jealous of other people on YouTube and on Instagram who were able to get so many thousands of views and so many thousands of subscribers or followers from only a couple of months of doing what they're doing, and I started to get like green with envy of them, and that just totally didn't sit right with me, because I thought, why was that upsetting me in this little world online, big world online? That is not why I should be doing what I'm doing. I shouldn't be doing it to get likes. I should be doing it to enrich my mind and to better myself. And if that also brings joy to someone else through a photograph or a video that I make, then that is a bonus, not the reason why I'm doing it. So I really had to just sort of take a step back and just have a little break from it all. I just feel that, especially Instagram, as I say, I know I'm doing this video on YouTube, so it is a bit different. I know there's a lot of you that watch me that aren't on Instagram, so this will be irrelevant to you, and you've probably switched off by now anyway. If you're still listening to me, bless you and thank you. But yeah, Instagram has definitely changed in the last few years, and the sewing community has changed as well, and I've just been sort of thinking back to the early days, and I really did love it, and I would love a little bit of that back. And it was slower. It was definitely a slower place, more calming, relaxing. I know that sounds ridiculous, but it wasn't all sell, sell, sell. I really feel that Instagram, especially YouTube a little bit, seems to be a platform for selling. And I know it's a lot of independent businesses, so it's great to support them, but at the same time I just don't want to be bombarded with sales pitches every time I scroll through a feed or I watch a video. Every now and again, that's okay, of course. You know, people have to make a living, and I completely understand that, but it was a lot. And I suppose Black Friday, that's what I mean when I was talking about Black Friday earlier. Black Friday was the worst. It was so bad. And so yeah, and also I've decided, along this similar chain or train of thought, I decided to step back from being a fabric shop blogger that I was for two independent fabric shops who are they're both beautiful fabric shops. They stock absolutely beautiful stuff. Those two ladies have done amazing work. They work so hard, and in that respect I totally support them and will continue to support them. But I did feel that I mean, I've had my time. I've been blogging for both of them for over a year, and you know what, maybe someone else should have a go, because it's a wonderful opportunity. Obviously you get sent free fabric. Obviously then got to promote their store, promote their fabric, and it's quite a lot of work, and it actually did make me anxious. And you know, there were times I was like, right, my deadline for my blog is tomorrow. I've got to stay up late and write it. I mean, that's my fault for not organising my time properly, but that's just what was happening quite frequently. So anyway, I just thought, I'm going to take a step back. Let's let someone else have a go at being one of their bloggers, because it's a lot of fun, but it's also got its stressors as well, and I don't need that in my life. And also, I just don't want to be making stuff maybe unnecessarily, and I just felt that it didn't sit right with the reasons why I've been having a step back from social media, and I felt that that was part of the whole issue. I don't know if I'm making any sense. Is this all going to be in here? I don't know. Anyway, I do still want to keep making videos. I'm going to still be chatting about things I'm going to be making. I'm still going to be sewing if I ever get my sewing space in a decent place. So I will document it along the way. And on another note, at some point I'm going to be doing an enormous de-stash, because I have too much fabric, as you guys know, and I've been pretty ruthless when I moved into this tiny room, and I have 2 giant bags full of fabric that I'm going to sell. So whenever that happens, I'll let you guys know. I think it'll probably be mainly UK postage. If someone from internationally really wants it, they can message me and ask me about postage, but it's quite expensive posting overseas, as I found out in my last de-stash. And I think people said okay, but they probably weren't too happy with the price, but I was literally just charging what Royal Mail were charging me. So guys, I'm sorry that was such a waffly video. I just wanted to let you know where I had been and what's been going on with me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will be back again really soon.